Welcome to the SolidWorks Apps for Kids Classroom Beta Program. After receiving the invite, register your organisation to gain access. To use the app, you do not need to download any software. You can simply use an internet connection and a browser. Once registered, sign in with your email address and password. Remember, if you're a teacher, you will need to log in using your email address. When you create an organisation, you will be asked for the organisation name, address and the admin user. At present, you will receive 100 licenses for teachers and students to use. To learn more about SolidWorks Apps for Kids Classroom and to get started, you can select the question mark at the top right to see help videos that are available in any app at any time. If at any point you have a question, want to report an issue, or you want to send us feedback, use the feedback form, and if we can help, we will send you an email response as soon as we can. At the top right, you will also see the overflow menu. This gives access to the status tool, where you can see the status of the classroom environment. In Edit Profile, you can change your avatar, password, and review the terms of use and privacy policies. This is also where you can log out of your classroom account. Switching to the Teachers tab shows all of the teachers in the organisation, their email address and admin rights. Adding teachers is quick and easy to do. Simply select Invite at the top right. Now, just enter the email address. Choose an admin level and you are done. If there are more teachers in your organisation that you wish to join, multiple invites can be sent to save time. Choosing to make a teacher admin means that they will be able to invite and remove other teachers, and they can also create student accounts. Switching to the Students tab shows all of the students in the organisation and details such as their username, their contact email, and the ability to reset the password. Students are different from teachers. This is mainly due to the privacy rules and age-appropriate guidelines. Classroom enables teachers to create accounts for their students, linking them to their school email account. This means that younger students do not require to share any personal information with our app and company. It is your responsibility as a teacher to name and assign a compliant username for each student. In this example, our school is made up of the SolidWorks Apps for Kids extended team. To create a new student account, use the Create button and add the name. This is what others will see and can be changed at a later time. Their username, a unique name for login, remember this cannot be changed, and a password, a unique password for login. This can also be changed at a later point. Notice that the email address is by default the teacher's. This can be changed if the student is an age where personal information can be shared. Later in the video, I will log in as a student to show what they see and how they can use SolidWorks Apps for Kids Classroom. If you want to start a class on a particular subject, hit the Create button, invite students and start publishing projects to that class. Creating classes is super easy. Hit the Create button to start setting up your class. Add a name and a description to help you keep organised and to find it later. By default, all classes created are inactive. This means that you can set up a class without exposing it to your students. When you are ready to share, simply change it to active and it will show for any student you have added. Add students by typing their name to show the autocomplete list. Pick the student you want to add and click Add. To save time and to add multiple students at once, use the Select Students checklist to the right of the Add button, shown here. Add teachers to the class in the same way by typing their name or selecting from the Select Teachers checklist. Finally, if you want to change the colour of your class, pick any of the colours from the theme list. Changes are constantly being saved, so when you are finished with the setup, just click the Close button at the top right. You should now see the newly created class in your class listings. To go back and edit any class, use the dots on the right hand side, which will take you back to the class setup page. Now let's switch to the My Classes area to see your classes grid. Here you will be able to navigate and see what content has been added to each class. The newly created class only shows teachers and students. As you can see in another class I have created, it will show any projects that have been shared to that class. To create content using any of the SOLIDWORKS Apps for Kids apps, you can switch to the My Projects area and click the Add button. This shows all of the apps that can create content or be used with SOLIDWORKS Apps for Kids Classroom. Choosing ShapeIt creates a new blank project for me to start creating. In this example, I will create a simple keychain using my first initial as inspiration. For instructions and tips on using ShapeIt or any of the other apps, you can use the SOLIDWORKS EDU channel on YouTube or take a look at the help videos. After finishing this starter model, I will give the project a name and then switch back to the My Projects area by using the avatar icon at the top left. Sharing the project to the class can be done by clicking the dots on the project and choosing Share to Class. You can rename this project here too. From the list, pick the class you want to share to and click the OK arrow to accept. This action will create a copy of your project in the class you have chosen. It will also show in the Shared Projects list so that you know which projects have been shared. Switching back to My Classes and opening the newly created class will now show the Keychain Starter project. Now we are ready to teach. Let's exit the class and click the dot menu on the class tile and select Class Info. This is another way to return to the class setup page. Let's make the class active so that it will now show any of the students and teachers that have been added. To show what a student will see, I will log in as a student using the account info that we set up earlier. In this case, the username is gasbell2018 and the password is password123. Students will see the organisation name but will not be able to edit or see the information that the admin and teachers have access to. Their class view will show only the classes that they have been invited to. Opening this new class, you can see the shared content and the teachers and students that are also part of that class. Clicking on the names on the left activates a filter to show the content that was created by that teacher or student. Select the name again to clear any of the filters. To create your own version of the keychain, click the RIF button. This creates a copy of the project in your private My Projects area. Switching across to My Projects shows the project that was just riffed. Now you can create a new version of your own. First, we'll use ShapeIt to change the shape into the first initial of the student's name, this time a G. As well as shaping the project, we will also use StyleIt to change the colour, add stickers and change the background. StyleIt is an easy way to make something your own. When you have finished styling the project, click the avatar to go back to the My Projects page. Just like the teacher workflow, share the project to the class. Remember, all projects are private to you unless you share them to a class. Once shared, the copy in the class can be viewed or riffed by anyone in that class. Now we have finished creating the students project, let's log back out and log in as the teacher again. Back as the teacher, let's navigate to the class to see the project created by the student. Clicking on the names will filter to show projects created by teachers or students selected. Clicking on the project brings up the preview window, giving a full 3D view of the design. If, as a teacher, you want to edit or to use the project in an app such as Print It, you will need to riff the project. Shared projects cannot be modified, they can only be copied. This stops other users changing any of the submitted work. In this demonstration, you may have seen that there were a few other classes created. These were created using the sample lessons. Sample lessons have been designed to guide educators in how SolidWorks Apps for Kids can be used in an educational setting. There are multiple sample lessons covering topics such as animals and habitats, designing new foods, living in space, and many more. All lessons come with a lesson plan PDF, which includes instructions for running that lesson, background information, extra learning content, and a rubric grading sheet. Lessons may also have starter or example content. This can be copied to your My Projects area for showing or sharing with your students. Classes are not automatically created for this sample content, so you will need to go through the setup process to create the class, add the teachers and students, and to share the sample content to that class. We hope you enjoy using SolidWorks Apps for Kids Classroom. Remember to share any feedback you have using the in-app feedback form. We are looking forward to hearing from you about your experience and what we can do to improve SolidWorks Apps for Kids Classroom. Thanks from us all here in the SolidWorks Apps for Kids Classroom team.